Okay, we are back, and in today's video, I kind of want to talk about protecting your vision as someone who thinks differently. All right, and you need to understand that if God has placed a vision onto you that is bigger than most people can dream of, because a lot of people in today's day and age, and I don't do this to be mean or say this to be mean, but it's kind of like a crabs in a bucket thing. All right, everyone has this limiting mindset. They don't have faith in God. They don't have faith in themselves. They think smallly. And I had this thought too. As soon as I was graduating high school, I I don't know why my hair was so chopped there. I went to the trades immediately. I went into construction because I had this limiting mindset and belief that I'm not good enough for college. I can't do anything. All right, I'm not smart enough. I'm not worthy. I'm just gonna work construction my whole life. Obviously, I've that's changed as I've grown my relationship with God and stacked wins. My mindset has completely evolved, and I'm able to think way bigger now. I have amazing plans for this YouTube channel, for my business, for life as a whole. But a lot of people don't have that. Whether they just don't have confidence in themselves, they don't have confidence in God, or it just never has crossed their mind. Okay, and they have this crabs in a bucket like mentality. Um, they can't envision themselves starting a business, going after their dreams. Uh, having that 10 out of 10 girl. Uh, One story that comes to mind is Joseph in the Bible when he was sold into slavery, and he was sold into slavery by his brothers. They beat him down and sold him into slavery because they were worried about Joseph's dreams. They were kind of insecure about it because Joseph had visions and he told them his visions of running a kingdom, running an empire, and they didn't like that very much. And we all know that we all have dreams, right? Everyone has dreams, but a lot of people have had dreams that have been crushed. And it's not just from random people on the internet or anything like that. It's from family, it's from friends. Okay, and it sucks, man. It genuinely sucks. Because if you just sit here for a second and you think about people who have had dreams, right? Go back to when they were a child, and they didn't care what anyone thought about themselves. There have probably been people who have dreamed about beating cancer, or finding a cure for cancer, sorry, finding a cure for cancer, solving world hunger. What other problems? I don't know, being the first person to some planet, right? Whatever the case may be. Okay, I'm just throwing out stuff there. And they could have genuinely achieved it because anything is possible with God, but other people talk them out of it. Imagine that. Imagine if there was a kid or a guy out there who genuinely could have cured cancer, because there was, or could have genuinely got to that next planet, or found that new eco-friendly fuel, or whatever the case may be, but they were talked out about it, and now we're suffering because of the people who talked them out of their dreams. Hopefully this mic is picking up my voice and everything, but that has genuinely happened, and that's why you need to protect your visions, because it's a crabs in a bucket like mentality. You don't want people telling you off or getting envious, because once they do, they're going to try and do everything in their power to bring you down. They may not do it willingly, but they will do it. Um, I had this story. Uh, this kid at my school, my construction school at the time, and he's a good buddy of mine. He doesn't know I make these videos. I'm not going to tell him that, but he suffers from this, the small mindset thinking. And if you read the Bible, you know basically the concept that ask to God, work for it, and it will be received. That's why I'm so convinced that everything's going to work out. Business is going to work out. This YouTube channel is going to work out. um all my dreams. I'm gonna have the beautiful girl in the world, the most beautiful girl in the world. I'm gonna travel the world. I'm gonna have an amazing physique, because I know I put the work in. I know I've asked God, and I know I'm going to be obedient, and I know He's gonna deliver for me. But other people don't think that way. And this kid in my school, he was asking me, he was like, "Yo, you're a decently looking dude. Why don't you go out and date, or like, why don't you go out and party?" And I'm like, "Dude, I have uh I want a better girl than what I can get right now because I know my limitations. I know there's still things I need to work on, and I'm a few years away from finding that perfect 10 out of 10 girl at that time, anyways. And I was told him like, nah, dude, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna keep working on myself. I'm gonna have the 10 out of 10 girl. And he's like, no, you're not. I'm like, yeah, I am. And he's like, no, you're not. I'm like, yeah, I am, bro. Read the Bible. Come on, you're a Christian, because he is a Christian. And he's like, nah, dude, not everything in the Bible is true. All right, you need to understand that you're not gonna get it, bro. And that's okay. He doesn't see the vision, but that conversation always sticks out to me because he has this faith or has this relationship with Christ, but um he doesn't know the principles behind it. He doesn't believe in himself, and I'm not taking shots at him, but it's just funny to see how the world works differently from the rest of us, the rest of the people who are watching these videos, who are going after their dreams. Because a lot of kids, or a lot of people, like I said, they've had those dreams and they've been crushed by people around them, or they're just too scared to fulfill it themselves. Okay? I think that those are both horrible options because, like I said, who knows? We could have had cancer cured. We could have had the cure to world hunger. We could have been on different planets. All right? We could have, I don't know, developed something or other, new technology, whatever the case may be. But people have crushed their dreams. All right? And people don't like when you try and do something different. All right? They don't like that for whatever reason. I don't know the science behind it, probably because maybe they want to do it or maybe they want to better themselves, but people don't like that. All right, think about it this way. I know a lot of you, some of you have been called to like make YouTube videos or like step out of the box, quit your business or quit your job, go work on a business, whatever the case may be. And you're scared of what other people think. All right, you're scared of what your friends think. You're scared of what your family. You're scared of what random people on the internet think. You're scared of what people from your high school who you haven't even seen in 3 or 4 years will think, or your college, whatever. And it's just funny because if you think about it, at the end of the day, those people don't matter in the long run. It's you and God. It's you and God. And I know it sucks. I know it genuinely sucks because I was scared for months telling my family um, about my business. I kept it hidden for months. But uh, where was I going with that? I know it sucks, but at the end of the day, if you think about it, who matters? All right, you're living your life and God's in your life, okay? And his will is more important than ever. So if he's placed a vision in your heart, you have to go after it. And then also, those friends aren't going to last. Either you're going to die before them or they're going to die before you. Same with the family, your parents, and people from high school you're probably never going to see again. People from college you're never going to see again. All right? And if people don't like what you're doing, all right, screw it. Be your authentic self. Because at the end of the day, if you're your authentic self, you're going to attract people who are more similar to you. All right, imagine if I kept all this stuff hidden. Sorry for swearing. Like my relationship with Christ, my business, everything like that. I probably wouldn't um attract an audience, attract people around me that are like interest. I don't know how to word it. I think I went off on a random tangent there, and I'm sorry for that. I'm still getting back in the videos, guys. I've been cooking on the shorts. Point is, let's get back to the main point, bro. This is turning into a Joe Rogan podcast where we go on separate different tangents. Protect your dreams. Protect your dreams because people are gonna try and bring you down, or they're gonna try and sabotage you, willingly or unwillingly. That's just how the mind works because they don't want to see you succeed. It's crabs in a bucket. So the way I would go about it is just keeping those dreams between you and God. All right. If you're worried about people judging you, I don't know what's going on in my house, bro. I feel like I'm. This is a wild video, but we're gonna run with it. We're gonna run with it. Protect your dreams, bro. Protect your dreams. I know it's tough to be alone. If you need help, I would suggest getting a mentor. You can message me on Instagram, Chris.Flanagan_, or people in the church, bro. Go and tell them like, yo, you're doing some cool stuff right now. Let's hop and get some coffee. Or you can find other online mentors, other online communities, whatever the case may be. But point is, protect your mentor or get a mentor and protect your dreams. Only give it to people who won't judge you, who are gonna actually accept it and help you grow and go on your mission, that being God and that being mentors or other people who are like-minded, hopefully people in these comment sections. But yeah, sorry for going off on that tangent, guys. Instagram, Chris.Flanagan. If you need help, let's book a one-on-one call. But yeah, love you boys. Peace.